Greetings, Keishlings. Kishma, I'm here with a One Piece theory video. A mini theory, because I have little unsubstantiated information combined with my habit of just piecing together things with my weird logic until it sounds like a feasible theory. But yeah, today we're going to talk about Dragon's Devil Fruit, or at least what I think it likely will be. Um, this comes on the heels of watching Tekking 101's video where he talked about unnamed devil fruits, and obviously Dragon comes up in that discussion because of the fact that, well, it's been theorized by the fandom for years that he likely has some devil fruit of some denomination. We're not exactly sure, obviously, because Oda hasn't confirmed nor denied anything. The conclusion and consensus is that it's either a wind logia, a storm logia, or possibly just general weather manipulation, uh, like paramecia. So, yeah, because the first time we ever met him back in Logetown, before we even really knew who he was, he comes into town. All of a sudden, just this big rush of wind is blowing through the town, and storm clouds started brewing and everything. And it's like, huh, is that Oda just being dramatic and to point out this mysterious stranger? But then it's like, this happens again in the flashback where Luffy first met Ace and Sabo. Near the end when Sabo was thought to be gone during the whole Gray Terminal incident. It's like Dragon shows up and, well, guess what happens? Wind and storms start kicking up immediately. So it's like there seems to be a correlation. Okay, um, the the power in question, I'm thinking, is a mythical zone, and I'll elaborate on why I think it's that instead of the other three that I pointed out that's kind of been the consensus. The first being why it's not a wind logia is because, well, I would think that would be fine if it turned out to be the case, but I think that's not enough given his station in the series. He's the MC's father, he's the head of the Revolutionary Army, and he's also, the most wanted man in the world. So it's like typically Oda gives important characters like this, or ones that have high standing in the world, powerful devil fruits. So a Wind Logia would have worked fine, but maybe it's not enough given his grandstanding in terms of the overall series. Um, Also, the Storm Logia, that one comes apart in a different way because of the fact that a general Storm Logia doesn't make sense. While Oda typically, there is some crossover with Devil Fruit powers, but typically he likes to keep them separate enough to where they're their own thing. And we already have lightning with Inaru, and we already have, snow and ice and all that kind of stuff with Kuzan's respective devil fruits. So, a thunderstorm and snowstorm, respectively, they're kind of already covered. So I don't think he wants to step on their toes too much, um, given that they're already Logia. And then the whole just weather manipulation, it's again another one where it's not grand enough for the character in my eyes. But the power in question, I think, goes really well with his position in the story. But to get to that, before I state that reasoning, is time to tell you the name of this devil fruit. It is the mythical zone Hito Hito no Mi model Susanoo no Mikoto. It's a long name, sorry, I always butchered it. But yes, or just the, Hito Hito no Mi model Susanoo, to keep it simple. And for those not aware of who Susanoo is, if you're, a long-time Naruto fan like myself does know because of the whole Uchiha and their Mankyo Sharingan powers and everything, and you get the Susanoo power up and all that, and it's like, there you go. But He was the mythological Shinto god of storms and sea, also the brother of Amaterasu, which is another power that the Uchihas get. So there's the reason why that's the thing. They kind of are coupled because they were siblings, uh, you know, folklore wise. So, yeah. Why this makes perfect sense and would explain a lot of things um, is okay. The whole like the presence of like storms and wind and all that kind of stuff every time he seemingly arrives. Okay, that there's your storm explanation right there. He has the powers of storms. He has full dominion over storms because that was what Susanoo was all about. My other big piece of evidence is his motivation in the story. He wants to take down the world government, and by doing that, you would be also taking down the 10 celestial dragon families, the founding members of the world government. Now, this, be it, is not one for one, but in the Susanoo mythos, you have him as the slayer of the Yamato no Orochi, which is the 10-headed dragon snake thing. It's called a dragon, but it looked more like a snake. And now I know we technically have that devil fruit in the series and everything, and obviously Dragon wouldn't be going to fight Orochi right now because Orochi is seemingly dead, but like I said, it's not one for one. But it plays a big role because of the fact of what his motivation is. So he takes down the government. He has slayed Orochi in that regard, or the Yamato no Orochi. And then that plays into the whole Susanoo thing, and Oda does like to connect things like that. I can't specifically think of one example off the top of my head, but it would make sense for that. So yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so those are my big reasonings. Now to like what this power would be fully capable of. Okay, obviously you would have like weather manipulation, weather generation, so you have wind, storms of all kinds, that kind of thing. There might also be slight like ocean current manipulation as well because he was the god of storms and the seas, so that also might be a thing to how like Dragon, he's been like eluding the government for the excess of 2 decades, if not more. We don't really know how long he's been with the revolutionaries, but it's been at least the length of Luffy's life, right? Which is 19 years at this point, post time skip. So yeah, it would stand to reason 20 plus years in there, even if he wasn't the supreme commander, but even if he was the whole time, he's been very elusive to the government. And also, like, the revolutionaries as a whole seemingly are very elusive as well. So, and I think he might play a bigger part of that if this devil fruit power comes into fruition. Because, like, okay, when he always comes into town and everything, when he goes to do his, his secretive business or whatever, okay, he makes it rain, the wind blows, and all that. That is to get rid of his scent. You're probably thinking, that's crazy, why are you talking about that? Well, there are zone devil fruits that turn you into dogs. Well, bloodhounds, so a bloodhound model zone would make a lot of sense to try and track his ass down. So I'm sure some, government agent has it and turns into a bloodhound. We're going to track down the most wanted man in the world. Because, bloodhounds have been used by the cops for years to track down escaped prisoners and the like. And it's like usually the only way that you can get rid of your scent is by washing it off. Well, that can either be done by, jumping into a river, as prisoners would commonly do, especially in movies and stuff, or like if it rains, that would help disperse it a little bit and get rid of like, traces of your footprints and all that kind of stuff. So, any kind of tracking methods would be almost completely eliminated. And then the wind helps that it like will carry it away as well. But also his elusiveness to being captured on the seas or by a base is in the form of he generates wind, so his boats are always going to be traveling way faster than any of the militaries or the Marines. So, they think, haha, we've almost got him, go throw a hook on him. And it's like, and then all of a sudden the wind picks up, and then it's like, and they're gone. So they're like, damn it, we almost had him. 20 years I've been chasing this bastard. But yeah, something like that. Or, ice storms, anyone? He freezes the water around a ship, and if it's not an icebreaker, you're gonna be stuck there for a good long while. Or freezes their sails, their engines, because, not all marine ships are sailing ships, or at least they're a hybrid ship. So, yeah, there's that too. Also, how, like the Baltigo base, for instance, like before it was revealed to us that it was the location of the Marine HQ, or not Marine HQ, I'm thinking, not the Marine HQ, but the Revolutionary HQ, the island seemingly was unknown to everybody. Like, it had ruins and stuff on it, was snow covered and everything. Well, partly that could have just been Dragon's powers. Like, maybe he messed with the currents around the island so that only his ships would be allowed in, and it would divert other ships away, have like storms all around it, so people are diverting away from the island, cover it in mist, cover it in a snowstorm, something like that. There you go. You have natural camouflage at that point. And even an awakened form of this would be scary. And I actually have a mini theory, a nano theory, of, okay, you remember the Florian Triangle from Part 1 during the Thriller Bark arc. What if that mysterious mist that shrouds that whole part of that ocean is actually from an awakened user, just like with Punk Hazard, how it was like a normal island, but then after Kuzan and Sakazuki, did I get his name right? Whatever. You have Akainu and why can't I think of anyway? Kuzan. When they had their big fight during the time skip, they changed the weather and climate of that island to where it's now split down the middle. They were awakened users, and they had very powerful fruits, being Logias. So it was to say that part of an ocean somewhere didn't also get, completely shrouded in mist eternally. Or at least until another force comes about that's big enough to change it again permanently. But that's just like a thought within a thought. So yeah. Overall, that's my general idea. Let me know what you thought about it. Am I as crazy as it sounded? Maybe. I don't know. I just thought it made sense given, his motivations, his standing in the series, his the role that he'll probably play, and then it made more sense for him to have a really powerful fruit, and that was the thing that came to mind. But anyway, let me know all your thoughts and your own theories about what Dragon's Devil Fruit is. Let me know down below. Check out my other content, see what you like, suggest things for the future. Links down below for all my social media so you can keep up with my content and have ways to contact me. I stream on Twitch where I do gaming, and I'll tweet out when I go live. Part of the One Punch Man podcast on Grim Reaper's channel, so go check that out. And as always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Keishlings, may the winds blow of new change.